Sorry.
You're good. Welcome back, everyone, to another video. I'm DK.
And I'm SHARKMAN.
Guys, I took a shower. My hair's wet.
Wow, what a great opening to this video.
I'm just saying, because it looks, ugh, you know, I'm just not used to it.
For future reference, Megan, if you see Megan with this darker hair, you know she's taking a shower.
Yeah. And this was kind of like last minute that we decided that we were going to film anyway.
Yeah,
so,
but we had to.
We need to.
But we need to because if I don't, then it's not going to stay fresh in my mind.
If you guys remember the Windbreaker episode that I did like recently, well, last month or so, David didn't remember any of the Windbreaker characters.
I've only seen Windbreaker once, and all of them, and because I have this problem with a lot of anime though, because unless it's like a short name and easy to remember, it's usually hard for me to remember because they're weird names. It's Japanese names, so it's hard for someone like me who is from America who speaks English to remember a name that's weirdly spoken, like weirdly articulated. You know what I mean?
If it doesn't roll off the tongue, it's hard to remember.
Like Luffy, simple. Zoro, simple. Sanji, simple. Like those, like those are simple names. But like, I don't like remember like what the octopus fish dude from One Piece.
Hachi?
Yeah, I can't remember. See?
Yeah.
It's because it's a weird name for American to pronounce. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my fault. And it's not, and to me that's not funny because even if I love the character, if their name is hard for me to remember, I have to describe them because I can't, because they're so, what's the word, complex names. Japanese names are very complex. So it's hard, it's not, so it's very frustrating for me especially when I do love a character and I just can't remember their name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But for Megan, it's funny because she doesn't have this problem because she's apparently an expert at pronouncing Japanese names.
Look at my hoodie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So.
Anyway, we're not talking about anime today.
We are talking about media, just not that media.
Yeah. So,
at least not yet.
We've said this before. We were going to do a review of the Sonic 3 movie.
We were actually going to do a review of all 3 movies, but for today we're doing the third movie, and then we're just going to rank them. Yeah. And possibly if we have time.
Maybe talk about the other ones a little bit, but not as much. It's not going to be the highlight.
And we might also do like a little ranking video of which characters are our favorites.
From the movies.
From the movies, not from like the Sonic genre
in general.
Did that, so. If you didn't watch it, go watch it. It's a great video.
Yeah, I'll link it.
Shadows numero uno for us. Just saying.
Which is why we were so excited about it. Well, at least I was talking about this movie for the last 4 months. And
during the movie when we actually watched it, yes.
I talked too much through the movie. That kind of person.
It's because Megan knows a lot more. Here's the thing, I'm probably just as big of a fan as Megan is with Shadow, but she knows more about the character, if that makes sense. So just because I don't know as much about Shadow's character does not mean I don't love Shadow as much as Megan. I really do, and I was actually just as hyped as she was for Sonic 3 because like, yes, they're bringing Shadow in. I just don't know much about him other than the fact because he has too many backstories. He does. First he's an alien, then he's a genetically modified, robotic cyborg thing, and then he's a genie, and then he's this, and it's like, bro, stick to one story. Yeah. One.
Well,
and then he's a bad guy, and then he's a good guy, and then he's back to being a bad guy, and then he's back to being a good guy, and then and then he's back to being confused, and then he's back to not being confused, and then he has plot holes where he can use chaos control without the emeralds, and then he has to have the emeralds to actually use chaos control, and it makes no sense.
Okay, let's break this down.
Okay, let's break this down.
First, what was your expectations going in first to the movie?
That Shadow was gonna be like he usually is, and that Sonic was gonna go back to being Super Sonic, or Sonic was gonna be Super Sonic again. And I kind of anticipated that Super Shadow would make an appearance because of the emeralds, and so I kind of expected that. I did not expect Robotnic's grandpa to be back until I saw the trailer. When I first heard about it, before the official trailer came out, I assumed that it was just gonna be Robotnik finding Shadow, releasing him, and basically doing what he did with Knuckles.
True. 'Cause, okay.
Basically doing what he did with Knuckles, where he basically recruits Shadow. And they made the plot twist that his grandpa was actually alive, and is the one who recruited Shadow, and then he recruited his grandson, so his grandson. So it was kind of not exactly what I expected, but not really in a bad way, if that makes sense. It was kind of like,
I was expecting a lot of things, because I've watched so many things about the Sonic universe. As far as like I've watched all the gameplay videos for all the games. I've watched Sonic X. I watched
which is an anime by
Sonic, the way. Sonic Prime, like all the Sonic. Anything
even Sonic Boom, and she said Sonic Boom was horrible, even though it's not as bad as she says it is. It's bad, don't get me wrong, it's bad, but it's not like
it's the worst.
It's not it's not
the worst of
no, it's not.
It's the worst.
No, Sonic 06 is the worst
of the games. Yes.
No, out of all Sonic media, it's the worst.
Okay, yes, true. Okay, but I will say it's only it's the worst when it's Sonic's story. When it's Shadow's story, you don't get to see much of that story.
Sonic Boom wasn't even Shadow's story.
I'm talking about the wrong one. The game with the girl.
Yeah, that's Sonic 06.
Okay, yes, that's what I mean. Like the that's what I was talking about. There's 3 storylines.
Yeah.
But they all are the same storyline. There's Sonic's, there's Shadow's, there's Silver's. Shadow's was great.
Yeah.
Even Silver's. But Sonic's, I could not stand. At all. Because it's weird. It's just, if it had turned out like a friendship like Maria and Shadow, it wouldn't have been so bad.
Yeah,
but it turned into a love story between a human and a hedgehog.
I mean,
how stupid is that?
I mean, in the Mario universe, there's a storyline between an animated Mario and a more realistic-looking Pauline.
I don't know that story, so.
You are uncultured, my dude. Pauline, I think that's her name. Pauline, I think, is the name of the girl in the original Donkey Kong or Mario game where you have to like go up the beams and stuff, and you have to defeat Donkey Kong to get her, like rescue her.
Oh. No, I don't know that story still.
Or is it Paula or Paula? It's something like that. It's something with a P, but yeah.
But anyway, I was expecting a lot coming into this. Definitely, okay, the things that I was looking forward to, because it would have been the things that I would have expected was Shadow's backstory, Shadow helping Dr. Eggman with the weapon, but in like Sonic X, they were gathering the crystals, the emeralds, to power up the thing, not him running around, you know.
Well, I mean,
but they did have to get the 2 keys in order to unlock the weapon to take it into the sky. But the weapon would have been in the sky already. To be fair, I did like the change a little bit that they made him do it instead of the emeralds, because he is technically because that to me that kind of is like a little like callback to him being made of chaos energy. So it kind of is like a really cool Easter egg in a way, I guess. I don't know. The thing is that, like you were saying, it's kind of weird that he can do chaos control and all this stuff without using the emeralds. Yeah. But this is a different kind of backstory than he had before. This is like the 6th backstory he's had. The thing was that in Sonic X, he is a clone of the real Shadow. So he has to have the emeralds to power up instead of the opposite. While in this one, it's the real Shadow alien from outer space. He doesn't know where he is. Okay, he makes no sense because his like backstories make no sense because they all contradict each other. Because like I said, he's either an alien, a genie, a mixture of both, or he's a clone of something. But he's one of those 3. You also have to think. I remember that these stories, these movies, are a different kind of universe because remember that Sonic's by himself in the first movie, right? And then Tails and Knuckles come into the second movie, but in like Sonic X, all of them come at the same time to the world, and they all don't know each other. They don't know each other, none of them. Also, Sonic is raised by a bird, Longclaw. And Sonic didn't have that at all. He was with his friends in Green Hills in his world and he was in Sonic X. He was defeating a bad guy, and the bad guy made it so they teleported to Earth. That's how they got to Earth in the first place. Also, the rings, like they changed the thing for the rings, which I thought was clever, making them like teleporting kind of stuff.
I mean, to be honest, it makes more sense that way because they have no purpose really. If you in the games and like other media, they don't really have any purpose.
So I was kind of like on the fence of what I thought about Shadow's new like way of being, because it's different from as far as like him having the chaos control without having the emeralds.
Yeah.
But it makes sense if he's not the clone of Shadow and he's an alien. He comes from a different planet, and if on his planet, like they like kind of like Vegeta almost.
Again, I feel like even his alien backstory has two or three different like versions because he's either like genetically made from another person, like he's or whatever, or he's made of chaos energy.
Right.
That's like his two alien backstories. He's the like the either the what is it, not the clone, but the, I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but the clone, or like he's genetically using the blood of another alien to be created, or to me he's like Space Godzilla. He's like the Space Godzilla of the Sonic universe, which is probably why I like him, why he's my favorite character, because I also think Space Godzilla is my favorite Godzilla villain right now. But I feel like
there's,
I don't know.
Yeah. So I really do like all the versions of Shadow that I've seen, except for one.
Which version?
Okay, so in this movie they reference this game.
Oh yeah, his game version
is rated R version game, where he rides a motorcycle and it has a gun. And also, okay, you know when he first meets the three, he's climbing up that's another scene from the game. Except for in that one, he has the gun and he's doing like this.
Because he's a soldier. Yeah,
and like when he's walking through the rain in the crowd. Yeah, that's another scene from that.
It's like John Wick.
It also is a reference to John Wick, or one of Keanu Reeves' movies. Like there's some references to Keanu Reeves' movies in this.
Because Keanu Reeves, because he voices Shadow in the movie, so makes sense.
So good. I was so worried about who they were going to cast for his voice.
I feel like you might feel differently about this, but I think he's probably the perfect choice for Shadow for that, because I think he has the right voice for it, and I don't think there's anybody else who could do it better.
Yeah, I don't
personally.
Unless they got one of the people who had played Shadow's voice in the games.
But why? But that wouldn't make much sense. I mean, I guess it would make sense, but to me that doesn't make sense to bring a video game voice actor to voice a guy in a movie.
The person who played,
unless I'm just stupid.
Well, the person who played Tails' voice is the original voice of Tails.
Yeah, I guess.
So,
but they didn't do the same thing with Knuckles.
I know.
Idris Elba did Knuckles,
did fantastic
he wasn't
with that.
Yeah, but
I love his version of Knuckles a lot too. But also
Megan's really take that. Basically, what Megan's trying to say is she's take that he has the motorcycle and gun thing. Although it was sick that he used chaos control and drove the motorcycle. That was sick. You can't admit that was pretty cool.
And they every single movie that has a motorcycle, you have to do the Akira slide.
Yeah, and he did the really cool thing where he used his power to speed the bike up when he went up.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. At least they made it cool. Even though you
had no need for a gun at all. I'm just saying.
Again, I feel like it's a callback. I feel like it's a callback to John Wick.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a callback.
And that Shadow movie. Game.
Yeah.
Sorry, that game. So,
although I'm gonna just say this. While I agree with you that is stupid, I still think okay, really quick though, just really quick. Let me just ask because I need to get this straight.
Okay.
How is him riding a motorcycle stupid, but him roller skating is fine? Like really fast, him roller skating really fast is funny. Like, can you just explain that for a second?
The reason why he did it. Okay, like if you like in the movie, Maria rides roller skates.
Okay.
So I think he did it to be like them to be the closest to roller skate.
Okay, now I guess that makes more sense. But I'm just saying that I just feel like both of them.
I think I heard that the creator of Shadow wanted him to have it like because they are very similar. They're not like him and Sonic. He wanted them to have different, like, to differentiate between the two and to have them do two different things. If he just had all the hedgehogs run, then you know it's they're all going to be just copies of each other. So I think he wanted him to have a different, like it's the same as like any antagonist of a character that's in a like an anime, like okay, like Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta is so much different from Goku's model, but they're both Saiyans, you know, like his.
Yeah, but you also don't see Vegeta doing like this in the air, you know.
True.
I'm just saying, like it doesn't look cool.
I mean, in space he flies like.
That's what. See, like that's cooler to me than him doing. Like I don't know. It just kind of looks just kind of strange, especially when you consider that he's running. And why doesn't he? And if he can use chaos control, why doesn't he just use that all the time instead of running? You literally can just teleport to any place on the planet with chaos control. Why would you need to run?
Only if he knew where the places were. Because it's been 50 years and everything's changed. So he wanted to know where things are, and he didn't leave the base either.
So then how do you explain him using chaos control when he was fighting them in the city? Or when he vanished when he activated the bomb thingy?
Because...
What about that?
Well,
because he didn't know where they went. He didn't know where the crowd thing was, so...
Sure that he didn't know where...
So...
Okay, that is kind of...
I'm just saying, like if you can literally just teleport anywhere, why run? Like, you could literally just teleport anywhere and you'd be untouchable. You literally would be untouchable.
I mean, unless it takes up a lot of energy, too. More energy than running.
You do realize that the chaos energy is, like, unlimited, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have burnt through all of it running to power the machine. No?
True.
I don't know.
I mean, not everything's perfect with the
I'm just saying there were some plot holes in that movie. I'm just saying there were some plot holes in that movie. Okay. As good as it was, there were some plot holes.
Going back to what you said about the old doctor coming back.
Yes.
In Sonic X, he is dead.
Yeah, I know.
He is too old to be alive.
Yes, I know.
He's 110 years old.
Yes, but they actually have an actual reason why he's still alive.
Mm-hmm. What did they say? Did they say something in the movie that I missed?
No, it's a clue in the movie that a hidden detail. It's something that him and his grandson do all the time. That they're obsessed with doing.
Dancing?
No. What's the other thing? Come on, man. Think about it. What was the thing that Robotnic did? The first thing he did in the first movie when he was looking for Sonic. When he first discovered that there was an alien on the planet.
Are you talking about the quill? Because he took a quill from
Shadow, and he licked it, so the chaos energy is keeping him alive. Basically, it's like reversing his aging in a way.
And yet it became the death of him. Because he got poked in the butt. He died.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, that's like why? Because it's like it's keeping. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So him licking Shadow's quill is like, you know what I mean? That's like their whole explanation why he's still alive is because he kept licking the quill. So the energy from the quill is keeping him from.
Why did they let him keep it?
Keep the quill?
Yeah.
They didn't. He just took it. He probably did. It was probably like what Robotnic did with Sonic, where he just found like a stray quill on the ground or something and grabbed it and, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't know. They didn't explain that. They just, you know, I mean.
Anyway.
It is a cool reference though, or a good, like a cool way to keep him around and why he's around, you know.
Why he can still do the moves.
Yeah, it's a good, like it makes more sense why he's still alive. Cause that, at least to me, it gives him an actual good reason why he's still alive.
Was it just me, or was there so much more Robotnic in this movie?
Yeah, because they're trying to like do the whole grandson grandfather
like Jim
angle.
Carrey had a lot more say in this movie.
Yeah.
Because of the things he did in this movie. Like, for instance, the scene that did not need to... That we did... Sorry, guys.
No, it's my fault.
The scene that did not really need to be that long was the VR scene.
Oh, yeah.
That scene... I don't know. I just didn't like it as much as... I think that was the most boring part for me. I know it probably isn't for you guys, but you might disagree, but that and, I mean, even some of the dance number was a lot. He had to have a dance number in every movie, you know?
Yeah, he does.
And I guess
that's what makes Jim Carrey
retired and you're going to be, you know, coming out of retirement just for these movies, I guess you do get more say in those movies.
Honestly, I honestly, other than that the VR scene and then maybe one dance scene, I honestly didn't hate Jim Carrey in that movie.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate him.
I mean, I like that.
There was a lot.
I kind of like that there was more.
Wish there was. You did?
I like that there was a little bit more in there because I feel like we got more character development with him. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah. I also was thinking. I mean, the one thing they didn't explain in this movie that much was why Maria was there. Because in all of the things, she's sick. Yeah. She is very sick, and she is staying with the doctor so he can look after her. Yeah. But in this movie, they didn't really say that. She's just there.
I think they're probably assuming that you played the games and know the story well enough to know that she is sick and that is why she's there. I'm assuming that's why they didn't explain it because they probably thought that we already know that in our minds that she's sick and that's why she's there. So, you know.
And I did like that in Tom. There's always got a lesson for Sonic every movie. Yeah. And this lesson, I love when they go back and forth with Shadow and him, of you didn't let your feelings decide who you are. They show Shadow at that point where he's angry. He's gonna act on his emotions and stuff. His emotions.
The way you say emotions is funny. I don't know why it is.
I also love the scene where they get to the place and with Robotnik.
You mean when they're wrangling them all up?
Yeah, and I love that Knuckles is afraid of ghosts.
I don't know why he's afraid of ghosts, but
God, they gave Shadow some lines that I didn't think that he would ever say. For instance, when
Megan literally thought in that scene that he was upside down, even though his feet were clearly directed at the ground.
Where with Tails and Stone, it looked like he was upside down. It looked like
his feet were pointed down.
I thought that was the before scene, but when you look, I didn't see his bottom half. I just saw eyes. So I thought it was him upside down, coming down upside down, but it wasn't. But that was hilarious. But also,
I thought you could see his white feet going down, or his shoes going down. That's why I assumed that.
I didn't pay close enough attention.
Unless I just was not.
Also, the funny thing is that Shadow got some lines in the ear that I didn't even think that he would say.
Like
it
what?
Seemed like Knuckles would say.
Like what?
For instance, I mean.
You're a colorful bunch.
That, and then also when he's with Knuckles, when he captures Knuckles, he just says "boo."
Okay.
I don't think he would just say.
I think he would because I don't know.
Boo. Also the line where Agent Stone is. I said Dr. Stone earlier, guys.
It's okay. You guys know who we're talking about.
Agent Stone was come with me, Shadow. We're gonna make some guacamole. He's like, revenge guacamole.
Revenge guac.
Yeah, revenge guac. I'm like,
They had to give him some funny lines.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, like... Yeah. Because otherwise, because Shadow has funny lines in the games and the shows. So you have to give him... Because otherwise, then he's going to be a dull character.
Yeah,
he's not a dull character.
I love him. It's just funny. But I also liked how they portrayed Shadow's inner turmoil throughout the movie. Like the scene where he attacks Tom thinking he was the other person. The general.
Yeah, we know. We know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he sees Sonic with him and thinking about Maria and everything. How did you feel about Maria in this movie?
She hated it because she thought Maria needed to be younger. She felt like she needed to be younger.
That's what I felt. But, I mean, she wasn't terrible.
Her acting was pretty good, though.
Her acting was pretty good. And I love their relationship. It's so cute. But I still thought that it should have been a little younger. Because just the way she's portrayed in the games and stuff, it just seems like...
How much younger? When you say a little younger, how much younger are we talking? Like,
well,
4?
I want to know how old she's supposed to be in the movie. If she's supposed to be 14, then maybe 11 or so. Because that's what she looks like in. But of course she could have been older in the games, and it's just that her height is different because she's sick. Sickness can cause you not to.
Yeah, it causes your growth plates to stop working.
Yeah,
basically, is what they can say. If you're sick, you're gonna stop growing.
No, I forgot what kind of sickness she had too.
All I know is that it's a sickness that keeps her from surviving on Earth because Earth's atmosphere would kill her or something like that. I forget. It just
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Shadow was made to protect her, or it depends on which storyline you're going with, because I feel like in the movie they kind of mixed 2 different storylines, like him being an alien and then him being a companion for Maria.
I love when she draws the mouse head on the
the
capsule.
Yeah.
He has that. It's so funny. It's like evil Chuck E. Cheese.
Evil Chuck E. Cheese? He doesn't look like a mouse.
When she drew the thing.
Yeah, but Chuck E. Cheese is brown, not black.
I know, but
so how would it
the
be?
The shape,
I don't know.
not the coloration.
The shape, but he also doesn't have pointy quills. Or red hair. Okay,
I love that line. That song says, "Who does your highlights?"
Okay, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
Also, why in the world in Japan is there a chow restaurant?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
A chow restaurant.
Why in where? What?
In Japan. Why
what does this have to do with the movie?
It's in it. It's in
where?
The chows. Okay, a chow is the little. It's cheese.
Oh, you mean the little? Oh, you mean that scene? I was like, what are you talking about? What Japan scene are you referring to?
I meant, you know who I am.
I know who you were talking about. What I meant was what I meant was I didn't remember you the Japan. I didn't think they were in Japan. I thought they were in Korea or China. I don't know why, but I thought they were in one of those places.
I'm pretty sure they said Japan.
I don't know. I just thought it was Korea because it looked like Korea.
Or Korea.
It looked like Korea to me, so I assumed it was Korea. But if it was Japan, then,
Why is there chow?
Because they wanted to add a cream and cheese reference in there. I don't know.
I guess. That just confused me.
I mean, cream and cheese. Maybe it's a hint that cream and cheese will appear in one of the future movies. Maybe.
Also, okay. I'm glad they tied in the Knuckles series.
They had to, though. I
know, because if they didn't, I would have been mad.
Well, they had to.
But they had to.
They had to!
No choice.
Well, it wouldn't make much sense, right?
Yes, it wouldn't have. But, I loved it that Wade...
yeah.
Knuckles decided that Wade was the most trustworthy person to hold on to the emerald, and Sonic couldn't get, couldn't get it. All he had to do was that. It was funny.
Okay, to be fair, he's against an alien that can run at the speed of light. True. So, it's not really a fair matchup, is it?
I also, I love seeing Sonic's temperament. a little bit more in this movie.
Like, what?
We
what
don't
do you
see
mean
him
kind of-
angry. He's
yeah.
usually the go-lucky.
Yeah.
I love that argument him and Shadow have in the very beginning where he's like, "Why do you look like me?" "No, why do you look like me?" "I will be asking the questions here, new hedgehog. Why do you look like me?" "Who are you?" And he's like, "I don't have time for this, you weakling." And Knuckles is like, he is way more impressive.
That was pretty funny,
The
actually.
hedgehog I fought before.
Yeah.
Knuckles is so good.
He's not wrong though. I mean, Shadow is
Dude,
way
I'm
more
standing
impressive.
right here.
Shadow is way more impressive as far as like in some ways. I feel like Sonic's better than Shadow in some ways, and I feel like Shadow's better than Sonic in some ways. I don't know.
Yeah. I just loved the last battle too, and like Sonic.
Well,
coming to
duh, because
terms.
that's when Super Shadow and Super Sonic are in it as the final battle.
Sonic draws in his enemy in to be his friend. Of course, Shadow would
The
never say
enemy
he's
of my
friend.
enemy is my friend. Basically, is how Sonic took it. Basically,
Yeah.
it's the whole shtick.
It's also like, if like for Robotnik, like him, if it doesn't go his, like according to his plan, he will go against you. Like he went against his grandfather because his grandfather was going to
Well, there
destroy the Earth. He wants to rule it. You know.
Yeah.
So. But seeing I knew Super Shadow was coming because like there's just no way
You can't put Shadow in there and not at least put him in there once.
I know, and like I wish there was more to his seeing his power without his rings on, because there was more in Sonic X with that, but
It was an hour and 49-minute movie. How would they have put more of that in there?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I forgot I forget what happened in Sonic X. I need to go back and watch those episodes.
Spoiler alert: he's not dead.
There is an end closing.
Even though we didn't see it. Even though we didn't get to see it.
Amy is
you know.
here too. Okay, can I just
There's
say
a theory that Amy's gonna be evil, and then they have to try to
there's another
like
theory.
keep her, or like they have to try to turn her.
There's another theory.
What?
That she's from the future.
That would make no sense.
She's from the future.
Even if you brought Silver and Blaze or whatever into the series, it would make sense to make Amy from the future.
She's from the future because
it doesn't make sense.
She's from the future because Metal Sonic is from the future.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because Dr. Robotnik wanted to make a Sonic.
Okay.
And the world's getting destroyed in the future.
Okay.
So Amy comes because like that end credit scene where she is because they're from the future and they're trying to destroy the original Sonic.
Okay.
But that's what I've heard.
Okay.
And
how much do you want that to be true? How much of that do you actually want?
I kind of do, because here's the thing.
I don't.
You know why?
Why?
Okay, have you seen Sonic Prime?
A little bit.
It's basically similar to that storyline.
Yeah, except it's different story, different universes instead of it being different timelines.
Well, it is a different universe.
Different universes, not timelines. That's the difference.
Well, I think it's. For what I saw, it's either they're from the future or from a different timeline. I don't know which one it is. I just know that she's from somewhere else. She's not from...
I still think it's stupid that they made Amy from the future.
Well, okay. Now that we've kind of covered the whole movie, what would you want Sonic 4 to have in it? Like, what would you think would be a good storyline?
I don't know, because I don't know who else they would add besides Amy, Silver, and Blaze.
And Rouge. I hate Rouge. I know a lot of people love her, but she's not it. Shadow is definitely...
Why do I keep getting that?
Shadow is definitely coming. From what I heard, he agrees to help because he really wants to destroy Sonic. For the future Sonic stuff, because he just doesn't like he... I don't know.
Who's Silver?
Shadow.
Oh.
Silver, they didn't really mention what his role would be.
Silver's probably gonna be the same person that he was in what was it, Sonic 06 or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like they're gonna bring in something from that part because that's the only thing that Silver really is in.
They have to because Amy apparently is from the future, even though that makes no sense.
Here's the thing. I'd rather her be from the future than being a girlfriend who's totally, like, over obsessive of him. I'd rather her be a baddie than a person who is overly obsessed of Sonic. Would you rather her be like, Sonic? Like, just be like a...
I wish she wasn't in this universe at all, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many characters they can bring in.
I'm just saying, if you're going to bring in a character that a lot of people, or that some people actually do like, why make them from the future? Because unless you're doing Silver, unless you're hinting at Silver and Blaze, and that's why you did it, I can understand that, but it still doesn't make any sense because Amy's not from the future. Amy is not from the future.
I'm just saying the version of Amy from Sonic Prime is from the future.
They're gonna shoehorn in a Amy Rose loves Sonic thing eventually. You know that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, they are, but I don't think she's gonna be that crazy. I hope she's not. If she is,
I hope she is, so that we can just all hate her at the same time. I hope she is, so we can all hate her.
Amy. A lot of people love her, and I mean, I'm excited to see what they do because I don't know much about anything else in the Sonic universe as far as like which games they're going to be going off of. Because I kind of already knew for Shadow because I've just watched a lot of stuff with him. Also, like the scene when they're fighting in space and they do like a slow motion and they're passing each other. That's a
Sonic Adventure thing.
Like the whichever one Shadow first appears.
Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, that's what they do in the game, like the beginning of the game. So I know that they did Sonic Adventure 2 and some of the Shadow game.
Yep.
And possibly some of the shows and stuff.
Please don't let Silver suck. Please don't let Silver suck. Please don't let Silver suck. Please.
If they
ruin Silver and make him unlikable, I will be very sad.
Yeah, me too. Because, like, we don't know much about Silver, but at the same time, when we did see him, he was kind of a very wimpy character, and I just don't know if I can get behind that. Because, like, in Sonic Forces, the small role he plays, he's kind of like a leader. But in Sonic 06, it's like, I don't know. Blaze is more of a good character in that than he is. Like, I love their friendship, but like Blaze would sacrifice herself for Silver. He needs to learn to fight in that matter, you know? Like,
I feel like Silver, you're gonna hate me for saying this because you're gonna think I'm hating on him, which I'm not. I'm just saying, from the little bit I've seen from him from Sonic 06, I feel like he is like the Miguel O'Hara of the Sonic universe, where he is delusional about who is really the bad guy.
I feel like
and
he's
so
gonna
that
be
and in turn makes him very unlikable because he's a jerk to the person who they don't listen. That's why. That's why, because people like that don't listen. And it makes me frustrated. It frustrates me.
It's weird how it works for Shadow than it does for Silver.
It doesn't even work for Shadow, really, because it makes him hard to like in certain parts, in certain roles. In certain times, it's hard to like Silver for me because he doesn't listen. True. Like, he's like the punch first, ask questions later kind of guy.
Yeah.
And...
Which is weird because Knuckles was that way too.
And it makes me frustrated because it's like, bro, take a second and breathe and let him explain.
Even Blaze would tell him, don't do this. Just wait. We need to talk. Maybe we should talk about this.
Yeah.
But no. But he's like I don't know how young he is compared to all these other characters.
He's like if Trunks was unlikable, basically.
I know, right? That's so sad. I don't want Trunks to be unlikable because he's my favorite Dragon Ball Z character.
Yeah.
And then Vegeta.
Yeah.
And Piccolo.
Yeah.
I don't know. We should do a ranking.
I'm just saying, like, I just don't like it when Silver's that way because it makes it hard for me to like him because he doesn't listen. Like, he doesn't give people a chance to explain. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, you cannot just come to my timeline and beat me up because you think I'm bad and not let me explain what is going on and actually fact check to make sure that what you're being told is actually true, you know?
Yeah,
because he's stupid.
Because he was told that. But okay, I can see why he would do it now. If what's true that Metal Sonic is from the future and he's causing a apocalypse in the future, he would know Sonic as the bad guy. Like, because it's, which I still don't know how anybody could look at Metal Sonic and think this is Sonic.
That's what I'm saying. How do he's clearly not built the same. He's clearly made out of metal.
Of course, here's another thing. When you're in a the brain, when you are in a very stressful environment, it does mess with your brain.
Plus, you look at the eyes. Look at his eyes. His eyes are clearly a different color.
I know. But, like, psychologically in that environment, you would...
Somebody needs to smack some psychology in his brain then. Because, bro... like, seriously, bro, it literally doesn't care.
I mean, I think another reason why they would do a futuristic one is the only reason... It's the only way to bring Robotnic back.
They have to, though.
Yeah, they have to. Or, like, a different timeline. Like, you know, multiverse.
They have to. They have to because they have to bring Amy Rose in because Amy Rose is apparently from the future now, even though that is total bullshark.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. Yeah. Like that has to be the lamest plot thing ever so far.
Well, okay,
that has to be the lamest thing ever.
Think about it. You thought the other thing that I had said before about Silver coming from that Silver's coming and he's coming from the future. You thought that sucked. So like, I think anything that's gonna happen, David's gonna hate until he actually watches the movie, and then he probably will still think it's the worst thing in the world.
I'm just saying, if they make if Silver doesn't get better at the end of the movie, then he sucks as a character. Yeah. Or they wrote his character horribly. Because Silver, I want to like Silver.
Yes.
But he makes it so hard to like him.
I will also say...
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like...
Also, okay, on a side note, if they don't make a movie about this, okay? I would love it to be a side story.
Okay.
Like a thing.
Like the Knuckles series, but...
like the Knuckles series. I want them to bring in the detective agency.
Oh, SBO,
Vector, and... Charmy. Bring them in. I would love to have just like a...
Probably movie 5. They'll probably come in movie 5. Either that or Big the Cat.
There's just so many Sonic characters they can bring in. They need to bring Cream eventually.
Big's the Cat.
Big. They need to bring him.
Wait, you need to bring who in? Cream? Oh yeah, because
she's one of the main kinds.
Yeah, the bunny. We need the bunny. We need the adorable bunny. Bring in the bunny. Bring in the bunny. Bring in the bunny.
The guys from oh my gosh, what's his name?
Chaos has to be reintroduced eventually.
Like a lot of different kinds of villains.
They might introduce Mephiles at some point too, maybe, possibly. Yeah. Mephiles is just a worse version of Shadow.
Yeah.
He's Shadow, but if Shadow is garbage.
He really is. Yeah, I love Shadow so I love Shadow so much. No one will replace Shadow in my heart for Sonic characters. No matter how bad he gets, I know there's a reason why he's doing it. Because he's not a bad guy at heart. He just does what he thinks is right.
He's just confused.
What he thinks
He's confused is what he is.
What he thinks is right is sometimes the wrong thing. And then he needs somebody to come smack the good sense into him. You know?
He has got to be the most amnesiac character I've ever seen in any form of media.
Yeah, because
bro literally has no idea about anything. Like, bro is just like, yep.
Yeah.
He's like Kirby. He doesn't know, he just does. He doesn't know, he just does.
He just does. Yeah, I love...
He doesn't think he does. He basically is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, how did you guys think about this movie? Because I loved it. And how would
I
you
thought it
rank
was
them?
pretty good. But I do have to say that there were some plot holes, just because it made a little bit of no sense on like certain parts, and I feel like they're kind of mixing some backstory.
They might do more in the fourth movie to explain stuff, but we don't know.
I would say it's probably my favorite out of the movies so far. I would say the second. I would say it'd go 3, 2, 1 for me personally, but that's just because I think that Knuckles is my second favorite character as far as the movies go.
I actually have a hard time with this one because I love Shadow. Shadow is definitely.
I knew you were gonna. Well, you know he's gonna be the first. You know
my favorite character of all time. But when I think about enjoyability for like all of the movies, which one got my attention the most? Like what satisfied my itch at the end of the movie was actually Sonic 2. So I would say Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic 1. Which is very sad for me because it's not that I think it like unlike David Robotnic I could care less about.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying it's nice to actually get just a little bit more character development. I'm not saying they should have kept him in there longer. I'm just saying that getting just a little bit more like.
I feel like the third movie for the main characters like Sonic and them. Their story was sped up too much. Like it was not a good pace.
Yeah.
But with, so when they added more Robotnik, it's like he had a like more paced. Story. But for the other, like it just feels like, okay, like there's this long section of they're away from Tom and them for a long time, and. Then you see a long section of Robotnik. Then they suddenly appear with Tom, and then it's like, okay, there's no like really discussion of like, should we be doing this or not? It's like, okay, we need you to do this plan with us. And it's like, yeah, sure, let's go. And then they decide to break into. There's no question about whether or not it's against the law or not to break in. I know. Okay, here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. There's no question. It's like, oh, we need to steal the key. That's all we get. There's no way of trying to figure out a way to stop Robotnik from going to get the key instead. Like
without using the emerald and having Shadow on his side, who I literally just kicked their butts like not 15 seconds ago.
It's not even like Shadow Day. Yeah, and I mean, what do they expect? Because once they do get the key, what are they gonna do with it? How are they gonna hide it? How are they gonna
destroy it? I guess they could destroy it.
What if they had gotten it and they didn't destroy it and they kept it and they like, oh, we're just going to keep it hidden.
Megan is thinking way too deep about this.
Like it's just like there's a plot hole right there. Like for me, it just seems like it's just too rushed.
Okay.
And then in the end, they still didn't get the key, and Shadow.
Again, stopping the Robotniks would make no sense because they have Shadow, and they could have easily called Shadow in, and he could have just been like that and beaten their butts again. So stopping him wouldn't have worked.
Well, the thing,
even if they had tried, it wouldn't have worked.
If they're going to go and get the key, they should just, when they got in there, just destroyed it.
Yeah.
But they were talking about stealing it. Like, no.
They probably felt like if they had stolen it and took it somewhere else, so they had more time to destroy it, then they probably wouldn't have.
But once again, if they had stolen, what's keeping Shadow from appearing and stealing?
That's true. Which is exactly what ends up happening. So
and Tom got hurt.
Yeah.
So
again, the whole legal thing doesn't even matter though, because they've been doing this crap like for the past 2 movies, so it doesn't even matter with the legal stuff.
And so there's just not. I just. They're just so like, but with
that's what it's like.
The second movie had a better story as far as there was not as many plots. But I'm thinking that as the movies get progressively more characters, they're gonna have to do that.
Again, the second movie didn't have a teleporting hedgehog that could literally just.
Yeah, but they should have come up with destroy the key, not steal it. Because if Tom had destroyed the key instead of holding it, what if he had destroyed the key when Shadow appeared, and then, like, he should turn back to Tom for one, but also he should just destroy the key if he saw Shadow, because there's no way that they would have. Like, I don't know what Shadow would have done.
Killed him.
He still almost killed him.
I'm just saying he would have killed him even if he had done that. Like, he wouldn't have just punched him once.
Yeah.
He would have, like, continuously tried to kill him.
Also, I am curious about what Shadow's attitude is right now. Because he was friendly with Sonic and everything.
He's like,
He's
like
Vegeta.
He's like Vegeta, where he has a truce with Goku, but he still likes to, you know,
I love it.
prove his superiority.
But still, it wasn't that bad of a movie. I'm just saying that, like, it did satisfy a lot of things. Because I love Shadow. But there were some things that just bothered me too much for Robotnik and too speedy of the plot for the heroes. No pun intended.
I think this movie, honestly, if I had to be honest, I feel like this should have been a spin-off movie, and they should have titled it like the Robotnik and Shadow, or something like that, instead of Sonic 3, because I feel like this was more of a Robotnik storyline.
Yeah.
And the Shadow storyline than it was Sonic and Knuckles and Tails, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because, like, they weren't in the movie that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for a lot of Shadow. It's just that there needed to be more of, like, development of feelings for the main characters, like Sonic and them. Because, like, it's just like they turn from this to this really quickly. There's no, like, tension build up, in my opinion. I'm like, I don't know.
Unless you wanted it to be 3 hours, I don't think they would have had time.
They could have shortened some of the Robotnik scenes.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But again, I feel like they were trying to make more, because they probably felt like Robotnik didn't get a lot of character development and story in the last two movies, so they probably were trying to, you know, shoe in more character development for his character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, one more thing. Did anyone know that, like, okay, I've done a lot of, like, watching of the Sonic stuff and never picked up, and it's so stupid that I never picked up on this, but the Maria and, Dr. Robotnik are either siblings or cousins. They talked about that Maria was actually his older sister, but she died young, so it's kind of, you know. But did anyone else pick up on that? Did you pick up on that? A little bit? Lucky you, because I did not.
Again, it has a lot of plot holes that don't make a lot of sense, and
But
there are plot holes that get solved.
It's just strange.
Yeah.
Like, how much older of her was she to Dr. Robotnik? Because they never talk about him at all. So, anyway.
How would you rate the characters and the story and the whole movie overall?
Like, all the characters in one? Or just, like...
Characters,
Shadow.
plot, movie in general.
Okay.
All three, go.
Movie 8 out of 10. I would say,
What'd you rate number 2 again? 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10? Was it 9
out of 10?
So 8 out of 10 for Sonic 3. Okay, not bad for the movie. Okay.
Well, let's do 8.5, so I can do an 8 for Sonic 1.
You really?
Okay, actually, okay. Sonic 2, 9.5. We'll do.
Why can't they both be an 8? Why can't they both be an 8?
Because it doesn't make sense. Well, actually, okay, never mind. It does make sense. Okay, both Sonic 1 and Sonic 3 are an 8.
Yeah.
And then
Sonic
2 is a 9.
Yep.
And then
plot was like...
Plot for 3, a 7.
What about music?
Music, a 7.
I'd give it a 7 as well.
Because it's not as good as the other two.
Okay.
It was good. It was just not as good.
Okay.
And then the characters. 8. Shadow's 10 out of 10 though. Like, he is Shadow.
How about we go with 9.5 for characters then?
9.5, okay. 9.5 for characters.
8 for characters, except for Shadow. Even though Shadow is a character, it gets moved into the character category. But we're just gonna ignore that. I was making this whole thing.
How about you?
I would say about a 9.5 for characters. I would say probably for movie-wise, I would put it at probably an 8.5 for 1 and 3 for me. And obviously a 9 for 2. And then I would put.
So are you changing yours
characters
to 2, 3, 1, or are you doing 3, 2, 1? Still.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna do 8. Wait, what did I say for? Oh, I said 8.5 for Sonic 3 and 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sonic 1. Actually, let me do that back. I'm gonna say 8.6 for 3, 8.5 for 1, and 9 for 2. Because I also changed my mind. I think 2 had better stuff in it. I would say for and then for movie like music, I thought it was like 6.5.
Yeah, I just think the music for the other movies was so much better.
Story-wise, I would give it. What'd you give story-wise? 7? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 7.
I would give it a 7.5 for mainly because of the backstory for Shadow. That's the only reason why I give it a little higher. So overall, pretty solid. I would say pretty solid for a third film. Usually the third installment's not as good as the other ones, but this one was actually pretty good.
It's a really good trilogy.
Yeah, so far until the 4th movie comes out and Silver ruins it. Or Amy ruins it with her
comes
bull
out
shark.
in 2027. That's when it comes out.
I'll tell Silver, Blaze, Rouge, or Amy messes it up.
Okay, the only ones that are certainly are going to be in it is Shadow.
And Metal Sonic.
It's Shadow, Amy, and Metal Sonic are going to be in it. But I don't know.
So then they might do Silver.
I just keep hearing that there's Silver.
So Silver,
Rouge.
it might be Rouge. It's either Rouge or Silver that they'll bring in.
I would find it extremely weird if Blaze was not in it too, because Silver and Blaze
I think it would be funny. I think it would be hilarious if they didn't put Blaze. I don't know why. I just think it would be funny because they would be like, "Oh my goodness, where's my other half?" Like, you know, it's like I don't know. I think that'd be funny, but
unless Blaze is captured by.
Plus, Blaze doesn't. I feel like Blaze wouldn't even stop Silver from doing. Blaze didn't even successfully stop Silver from doing what he's doing and actually stop to think and do stuff.
What?
You know?
What if Silver wasn't full grown? What if he's a kid? Like Sonic in the beginning of the Sonic 1 movie.
So you're saying when Sonic got kicked, he got his butt kicked by a kid, basically.
No,
that's what you're saying.
What? That, I mean, I'm...
Unless they make Silver a good guy, then I'm Team Silver. But if Silver and Shadow, obviously, but if Silver, if Blaze is not in it, and Silver is for some reason, which let's be honest, they have to bring him in because Amy's from the future, and this would make it the perfect opportunity to do futuristic stuff.
Yeah.
So if they bring Silver in and they don't bring Blaze in for some reason, then make Silver actually likable and not like. I don't know, because Blaze didn't really even, like I said, she didn't really stop Silver from doing anything, and just kind of was like, oh, Silver, but she sounded like one of those moms that doesn't actually punish her kids. She just gives them a slap on the knee, and it's like, you are doing bad stuff, stop it. But they don't actually punish them.
It's the same with
she doesn't do anything. She just lets him do stupid crap and doesn't think things through. He never stops to think, am I being lied to or tricked?
Yeah.
You would think that somebody from the future would be smarter and would not be tricked as easily. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand.
I just hope that Silver's actually likable. I'm just saying, because I want to like Silver. I really do. But it's hard to like somebody when...
You already have,
especially when they're this futuristic superior being and they're supposed to be smarter because the technology's advanced and stuff, but they're still being tricked by people from the past, which makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying. Bro.
With that note, guys, let us know what you thought of the movie.
Sorry.
How you would rate it, and also which is your favorite Sonic movie.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Also, I would really quick before we end, I would like to put the Knuckles series in like an 8 so 8.8.
8.8.
Yes, 8.8 for me personally. Because we forgot to rank the Knuckles series, but you can rate it right now. Might as well rate it.
8.5.
8.5.
It's really good.
Yeah. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.